T-Rock, I can go anywhere you want in the whole realm of human knowledge. I'm happy to go there with you. Where would you like to go?
Well, I'm just saying, why doesn't your position collapse into agnosticism? Or
because I don't require someone to hand me a system in order to test it. I don't feel like I have to be given a system in order to test everything. I feel like I've been given everything I need, and I'm attuning that system, which is me, the instrument that I am.
How about your intuitions?
No, I have measurement tools. My body is enormously calibrated to measure things. Yeah.
And could your body measurements be
anywhere you want in the whole realm of human knowledge? I'm happy to go there with you. Where would you like to go?
Well, I'm just saying, why doesn't your position collapse into agnosticism? Or
because I don't require someone to hand me a system in order to test it. I don't feel like I have to be given a system in order to test everything. I feel like I've been given everything I need, and I'm attuning that system, which is me, the instrument that I am.
So it's your intuitions.
No, I have measurement tools. My body is enormously calibrated to measure things. Yeah.
And could your body measurements be wrong?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's true. So, yeah, so that's, and it's lamentable because I...
Oh, hello there. Oh, hello there. That's what you got to click to make that work. The sound and okay, there we go. Cascading Barometrics, the Ides of March Reaper Harvest, Ides of March 2024. I see we've got Kale and Stephanie and Christian Baxter and Jeremy first, and Tunji and Jacob and Weird Ortho, and mostly not working, and Upcycle Club and Neil and Ron Copperman and Slicarius, all getting +2 bonuses to the savings throws today. Hey, Mills, how's it going? Wait, who's that guy who said finally caught the one at the start? Who was that guy? I saw that, was it Zach? Hey, Zach. No, it was Mark Jackson. Good to see you, Mark. Welcome. Welcome aboard. Here we go. Now, I do savings throws against mind control in this Cascading Barometrics title, which I do try to, I try to touch on the title and touch on the thumbnail so you don't get the false advertisement. But the barometrics is trust barometrics, and then I needed a water metaphor, and I couldn't. And the first one that came up was cascading. So cascading barometrics is trust barometrics and the water metaphor. Just in case you don't know, this is the Ides of March Reaper harvest, which means most of the show is going to be going through what those of you who have been encouraged, inspired, enthused to participate here in the co-creative process that is the Virtually Not Alone Network, have become beholders. You see, if you stick around long enough, you might become a beholder. This is our representative beholder, not currently an emoji, but you can use the VNA bubble if you're a channel member. As you see, there is a bunch of little eye stalks that have eyes on the end of them, attached to a large bulbous eye in the middle. Now, what it is the Reapers go around getting clips from other places that they think are worthwhile, and that's them being the little eye stalks, and then I show you those clips, and that's me being the big eye stalk projecting instead of seeing it project. It's complicated. This is the dream catcher of optimal grip. Okay, and now, right after this, you'll get the savings throws you're probably actually here for. LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. That was a McMo one, I think. I believe that was a McMo masterpiece. I think that was his stylistic impression, signature. 7 more seconds, he goes on with that. Well, mind control. You're swimming in it. Here's your savings throws. This is how that goes. You get to choose between survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Your choice imbibes into the die. I roll the die. And if it's over 10, you take half damage from the mind control in the rest of the show and the rest of your day, maybe even the rest of your weekend. If it's under 10, you take full damage. But remember, everybody, at least you know you're swimming in mind control. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. All right, get in here. All right, here we go. Hey! Oh, survivalist, you're going to need your bonuses. That's a 6 for you. A bunch of you got mute bonuses yesterday. You should be fine. Socialist, you're going to need even more. You still get them, though. That's a 2. If it's a 1, you don't get the bonuses. A 2, you still get your bonuses. You can make it. Lovers of wisdom, this one's coming at you, too. Wow, look at that. A 4. A 4 for them. It seems like the Reaper's Harvest has got some powerful stuff in it. Here's the hard folks with the 16. You're going to be okay. And Indigo kids, well, Prime 19. This one's for you. Buckle up, folks. Card for the show, Eight of Hearts. Eight of Hearts. Other card for the show, only one thing from me that's not Reaper's Harvest, and that's those are the Shrieking Eels. That's tied into the Cascading Barometrics, and we're going to get there somehow. And how do you want to start? Well, you did play the branding that says we can LARP and LARP hard, and some people don't know what that means. Some people don't know what that means. So I'm going to show you. See, what happened was there are things and forces and influences that expose me to things over the course of my day, which is sometimes but not always online. And one of those things was one of those good old ancient, what do you call it? Oldie but goodies. And it's an oldie but goodie of people LARPing. And so I thought I would share it for you as an example of what LARPing looks like. And because of the content of what they're LARPing, it's just gets you right here.
If you have state-sponsored disinformation, there's obviously additional tools that you can bring to bear to try to address that situation, not the least of which is bringing together other countries to effectively, take action against them for the kind of campaigns that they're propagating. But but generally, I would say the disinformation, the line between disinformation and misinformation is not always an easy one to find. And the reality is the greatest, way to impact it, in my experience, is not to let it sit. So in other words, find your trusted interlocutors that are capable of saying, this is not acceptable. This is, in fact, the truth. Here's the information. And I think the community of survivors is one example, but there's a whole series, employers, trusted faith leaders, variety.
Trusted interlocutors, trusted faith leaders. Every time the lady says trust, pay attention. It's a part of the trust barometrics cascading.
Health workers and so on can be part of that. In addition, obviously, you want to work with the private sector and those who are spreading information generally to see that they can bring things down that are in fact lies or false information that's being put forward as a way to minimize it. But having a source, a national source, an international source, other trusted sources, and really guiding everybody towards that information is one of the most effective ways to deal with a situation like that.
Great. I have Martin.
And while technically not part of the clip harvest, because Pete does it on his own on Twitter, but it was reported to me in the town square that he did it. Here's a bit of Pete promoting some trusted thought leaders over on the X platform with his clip work from the Joe Rogan Experience with James Lindsay.
Charlie Kirk, I've been spending a lot of time paying attention to the tenets of Christianity and studying it, and it's got a lot of good advice in there. But you're 100% right that if you try to lack a religion, and the primary thing with the religion, so if you lack a religion, then it'll get filled in with other things for very many people. I think there's a small percentage early.
Oh, look at that. That was muted. +4 to Mills, Slack, Stephanie, and Weird Ortho. +2 for Ha, and +2 for Firth. So your bonus is, yes, I was muted. Okay, so what Pete is doing over here is what we call the reaping of clips from a podcast. The wheat from the chaff is why we call it reaping. And he's loomed them together in some fashion here to make a point. This is the reaping and looming process happening out in the wild. But on today's show is a reaper harvest from our own internal work over on the Broken Clock Tower Discord, which I will show you now. Oh, this is the disclaimer section where you can find all my work. Okay, The clip stream is down here in the Reaper's Hall. I'm not showing it. The clip stream is down here in the Reaper's Hall, and it's just that, except it's just one or two rather than a whole stream from a single podcast, and it's from those assembled. Those assembled. That's the Ides of March. We were going all the way back. Look at this basket of goodies they have for you. They have for you. And let's go back all the way to before we left for the Symbolic World Summit. And let's see. Wait a minute. Here we go. Here's one featuring McMosav, apparently, from Upcycle Club.
T-Grog, I can go
It's
anywhere you want in the whole realm of human knowledge. I'm happy to go
Oh,
there.
wait a
Where would you
minute.
like to
That's
go?
the one you turned into branding. We can't do that one. We could just play the branding. Here's one from Slack. Hey, no, go back. Not that button. That button.
Direction of the future that holds out the possibility that our institutions and organizations, instead of being extractive from people and from workers and from the world, can gain a new consciousness that creating value for people through better work, through responsible ways of being in the world, direction of the future.
Yes, Slack, you did put something in there. Thanks. That's the first of our Reaper's harvest from our very own Slackarius. Now back to the one where the volume's not loud enough.
If it comes back to misinformation on a level of governments, of countries, then we need, as Sophia mentioned, trustable international organizations, UN, WHO, and they have to come together to get together to spread this trust and to work against this. We cannot hold governments from doing misinformation on their own. So I fully trust on these organizations.
Tom, just to build on that, I think you're right. It's important that the UN and WHO remain very clear. But when they challenge governments directly, they often get into this issue of sovereignty. And so I think it's really important not to have that as the only response. I think it's really critical to think about soft power influence, which is other influentials who can call up the head of state. Or powerful constituencies within those countries. We've seen this in the context of mobilizing religious leaders in the context of polio.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Just lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
And now that you've seen a demonstration of LARPing and the sort of topics they do LARPing I wanted to show you what I found sometime today. Not that, this one here. Okay, go. Here. Click on it. Yeah, there you are, and then show them. All right. Nope. Show them. Okay. This came across my feed from a fella named Deep Fake Dissident. And it shows some viral young TikToker fella.
Equate that to what we were watching on our own fucking phones. I heard so many times like, oh, don't trust what you see on social media. Don't trust what you see on the fucking news. There's so many people that are like, why are all these young kids getting radicalized all of a sudden? We're not getting radicalized. We're seeing what's actually happening. You're telling me.
Now, personally, I thought that was absolutely hilarious because it was a post from Deep Fake Dissident. But that's the level of what's going on. Like the TikTok from China is undermining other media sources as if the algorithm isn't showing them deciding what it is they believe, and I think that these people didn't even consider the power of TikTok when they were doing their little LARP. and according to StreamYard's, the viewership has reached 33 viewers, and as such.
Now what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody gonna die?
Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. And now, let me, before we just roll on through the rest of the show as a Reaper's Harvest, the other stream the other day was Agency Mooks, and I didn't make the connection from he who wrote it on the card to he who gives it to you. However, I was provided the original source for the Mooks and Knights material. The Internet of Beefs by Vivek Ramaswamy. No, not Vivek Ramaswamy. Venkat. It was by Venkat Shrao. Venkat. It was by Venkat. And from that, I would like. Oh, look, thank you, someone, for tickling the Kofi bot. That's our favorite. That's our favorite. Oh, we didn't change the goal. The goal is still up from the. So this Venkat Rao piece over here, the Internet of Beefs, right? It's got this. There's a couple of key points. That are needed to highlight because of the desirability of trusted influencers and such, it is important to understand the water in which we swim. And that's where the cascading part of the Cascading Barometrics stream comes from before we get to the Reaper's Harvest. And those are the Shrieking Eels is somewhere in this piece. Let's see if I can get there. But first, an important part, there is no higher honor for a mook than to be noticed by the knights they knight for. And thanks to the YouTube algorithm, when you tag us in your video, you can tag us in the description and we'll get a notification of it. By the power of Senpai Notice Me. Let's see. A mook once animated by a grievance is hard to destroy. Yada, yada. The more the mooks of a knight of the IOB can maintain an Internet of Beefs, can maintain a stable state of combat readiness, the bigger a player they are on the IOB. If you are blessed with a better, beefier class of mook, capable of sustaining and dishing out more damage points, see, the water we swim in is gamed attention. And there's this layer, if you get to the point where you can operate at the layer that you see the mooks and knights, then you can also see the wizards and the need for the defense against the dark arts and us coming together in this room of requirement. And the mooks, those are the Shrieking Eels, sort of. It's like a mook will latch onto a sandworm, and the sandworm becomes the Shrieking Eel because of all the mooks climbing onto it and shrieking about it. And that's something they take from the news cycle. They hook the sandworm, and welcome to 40 Days of Dune, another thing we're also running on the side.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast Magic Missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile. Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
All right, welcome. Welcome. This is a happy Frigga Friday Reaper's Harvest for the Ides of March of 2024. That's at 3:15. The Ides is the 15th or the middle. I don't know how exactly that works. But we're doing a Reaper's Harvest, and that's where we go through over here on the Discord. over here on the Discord, whatever fancy things the people like you have decided you deserve to watch. We do have a rating system, as you can barely see right here, where you are awarded a 7 indigo die if the community finds it valuable. And so we'll be going through this Reaper's Harvest looking for those that have been valued at 3 or more. Here's a contribution from Slack. No one valued. No one valued that. Here's an example of what no one values, apparently.
Thing I see coming is the autism wave. And what I mean by that is, and I don't mean severely disabled people on the spectrum. I mean people on the spectrum who have enough capacity they might be able to get a college degree. They can hold down some level of work, sometimes low level, sometimes high level. When you talked about 3 good friends, the one thing they really struggle with is exactly that. Thing I see coming is.
And that's another contribution from Slack. Thank you. I feel seen. He called it. Let's see. Here's one from Mills with Jordan Hart and John Vervaeke. Well, 2 thank yous, but no indigo die. No gets played. All right. Here's 4 though. This one got 4 from Mills. Let's see what it is there.
One of the things that people have, many people have said is that I provided a conceptual vocabulary, a theoretical grammar. Of course, some people criticize me for that, the fancy Vervaeke words and all that sort of stuff. But like that's part of the enabling you're talking about. It makes possible possibilities that weren't possible before. One of the things
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Fancy Vervaeke words enable us to say fancy Vervaeke words in an exclusive manner. Let's see. Oh, only two for the one with Rafe and John. None for Ian McGilchrist. Oh, this one got 1, and that guy looks adorable. Let's see what it is.
And what really concerns me, Parker, and you may have seen this, is lots of my fellow evangelicals and just sort of conservative believers in general, they're okay with goodness and truth being standard. But when you say beauty, no, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. What are you, you're old-fashioned. No, if you allow beauty to atrophy, goodness and truth will follow. This is actually what I'm going to be speaking. And what really concerns me,
if you allow beauty to atrophy, it gets worse. I don't remember what he said. Okay, and then 3 with 4, just like live as I watched it. It switched from being valued at 3 to valued at 4. A clip from Mostly Not Working J Pineapple Pizza. Find a place to dump your thoughts so Earl can be focused.
Specifically, like these kind of conversations and listening to Paul like on the regular all the time has meant that when I go to Mass on Sundays, and this might sound cheesy and hokey, but I can focus on Jesus. I can focus on me getting right with Jesus, prepare myself to receive the Eucharist, and ultimately doing all that because I've got my 3 kids next to me, and my wife is next to me, and we're at Mass, and like I don't need to get out of this liturgy every last little drip and drop that'll satisfy my monkey brain, because y'all know, like I'm thinking all the time. Like you can't shut this thing up. I wish I could, but I can't. And so like that's why I like Twitter. And like sometimes I do stupid things on Twitter, but oftentimes I'm just like, get out. It's here and I need to get it out. I need to get it out. So it's liturgical for me. So I swear, I bet you could like look at my Twitter feed and know like, oh, okay, Kale's up early. So he's like sending out like 30 tweets in a row because he woke up and he's got 50 things on his brain. Specifically, like,
It's true. There's quite a few Kale tweets in the morning quite often. May they continue to do so. Josh Garrison with the I see the assassins have failed. Lance Cleaver says LARP hard, LARP harder. So once again, special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all.
So say we all. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ho, ho, ho.
And now back to the Reaper's Harvest, this Ides of March Friday of 2024. The Cascading Barometrics part we pretty much did already. You can watch the replay and get a +5 to next stream savings throws by leaving a comment on the replay. We really like that around here. Okay. Next up on the Reaper's Harvest, valued at over 3. Not Lex and Tucker. Not that. Very discerning crowd we had in the clip stream today. There's some deuces. Here's a 3. Rogan and Kanye from back when. Here's a member, Barry. Untapped potential, brilliance, and bravery from Mosley.
MIT is a place that has to be funded by people who want to take the smartest people on the planet and make them work on the smallest things that won't change anything. And I've talked to people from MIT, and I could look at these this brilliant person I was talking from MIT, and he was afraid. Everything was fear. Everything was about his girlfriend's pregnant, and we just got a house, and I don't want to do anything to change this. And this is like one of the most brilliant people on the planet. But if you mix brilliance with bravery, that we can ignite something. Even this conversation alone can ignite the people that are going to change the world, because there's people who have been anointed. You can't teach the brilliance and the anointings. There's people who hit the game of life and they've got something that they're going to do no matter what school they go to. They just know how to do it. They know how to
hold them. They know how to fold them. They know when to walk away, and I bet they also know when to run.
How this could be used to allow people to connect and get past the status game. So I'm just gonna play with this right now, which is weird. It could be your CEO. It could be your boss. It could be your CEO. It could be your boss. It could be your CEO. It could be your boss. It could be your CEO. It could be your boss. Right? So that would be cool, in my opinion. That would be very cool.
Welcome back. We're doing the Ides of March Reaper Harvest, making our way through. The next winning clip is gotten 7 indigo bonuses. Hey, there's one for me too. It's Slack over on the Friday Morning Rando.
It's the coolest thing of the corner are these randos where people have their stories. I not particularly all that interested in my own, but maybe someone out there that's watching this. Hello, I see you.
Right.
We'll find something interesting in there. Like, when I watched you and Ups have a talk, like his discussion of just the early era of LucasArts games and Monkey Island and stuff. Like I heard that, and not going to say I cried, but I was like, here's this man who grew up halfway around the world and seeing the relations there of the computers and him actually doing something with himself and his degree as opposed to me just faking it till I make it. We need people like you.
We need people like you. Next up, another one from Slack. The importance of parent sacrifice.
Still understand just how much he he gave up for someone that I honestly think he probably didn't have to. He probably could have just walked away and my mother would have dealt with me. So there is something to that. You know, when my daughter was born, I've had a very light smoking habit, like a pack a week, like no big deal, but like that just stopped. That was no more of this. Trying to keep a very energetic and curious little girl from killing herself, full-time job. My wife is an absolute rock star. I pitch in where I can. It never feels like enough, but I'm also incredibly lazy and don't. Still,
I'm not a cat.
Welcome back to the Reaper's Harvest. So far, twice, starring our very own Slicarius. Let's see, a Facebook one. That was good, Joe. Man, I should see if I should. Oh, nobody appreciated it. I can't bring it up. Only 2 for that, 3 for this. Michael Levin touching on the vivisection of beauty. Thanks to Mills for dropping this one in. And, nope, this button.
But I get tons of emails from people who say, okay, I've read your paper. I understand that, I'm a collective intelligence of cells. And now I don't know what to do with myself anymore. I like literally, I don't, I don't, and what should I do? And maybe I've read some Sapolsky and now I don't think I have free will anymore. So like, I'm really confused and I don't have any idea what to do. Right. So I think that's important because I think it's really critical that the stuff that we do is seen as what I think it really is, which is providing now a way to climb out of all of the things that we were told, by evolutionary theory, by neuroscience, by physics. Well, you don't have this, and actually you don't have that, and it's all about competition and survival of the fittest. So we've got that, and so right. So okay. I mean, those there were a lot of bad ideas that needed to go. Great, but now we've got to climb our way up the other side of this and rebuild on a better foundation. But I get tons of emails.
Ducks eat bread.
They do. They like it.
Slime! What? It's a river of slime!
Remember it.
This agency. We want
And in what looks like it might be the first contribution from good old Aphrael Pilotson, Point Counterpoint, featuring our Matthew McConaughey Gavin and Saint Sartori.
Well, I don't know. Like they're going to have to live their own path. But here's the thing: I also know many people have found themselves into the depths of their relationship with God because they went down into that pit and they hit that place where they had to have that utter dependence and they needed something and they weren't going to be able to do it on their own. So, in a scary way, or in a way that I have enough trust is like, well, if they're going to do it, I hope they hit a bottom and I hope they hit it hard and I hope they don't kill themselves or someone in the midst of it. And I hope they don't bring a family in the middle of it. But at that point, it's like, well, I hope you hit it and I hope you hit it hard because then maybe you'll, be able to come back up.
As you wish, Lance. As you wish. We'll shut that man up. However, now it came to pass that I made a little something special. But I couldn't fit it on the Discord, so I had to upload it over on the Twitter. And here's that for you now. Here's a special thing that I made. I made it, so it's special. All right. Do it. You're just giving back what's been given to you. The veneer of non-judgmentality is alluring, to be sure. That is, until you begin to see through it. And then you're not only judged, but strongly opposed. Boy, do I miss Joey. If it wasn't for Sam.
That is so funny to me. He misses Joey. I love Joey. Joey's in my group. Joey's here. I know Joey. I'm good friends with Joey. And I think, do you really want to hear from Joey?
Being so unrealistic. Clean your room. We have people that hop onto the server, hop onto voice chats, and they, in the background of their thing, like they clearly haven't changed their shirt in a month. They haven't done their like you see their unmade bed, and next to their bed there's a giant thing of hand lotion, and that's gross. And like if you don't have the self-awareness that that's terrible, it doesn't matter how much politics you know, it doesn't matter how much philosophy it knows. There's a reason you're living at home with your mom, and it's because you haven't nailed those basics yet.
Joey. I'm good friends with Joey. And I think, do you really want to hear from Joey?
Welcome back to the Ides of March Reaper Harvest for 2024. It's something I'm trying to do on Fridays. I'm trying to do it on Fridays. It's where Reapers like you have brought clips to the Discord, sometimes from trusted sources like this one Bart brought, with some kind of weird clip emoji title. We've got issues.
So 2 questions. Do you think virtualization might enable psychopathy? And if it does, then what do you think of the danger that poses?
Well, I'll answer both of those questions, and I answer them pretty much in the affirmative. I don't think that situations create heroes, for example, and I don't think situations create psychopaths. I think it reveals who they are. And and so you get someone that becomes a keyboard bully, you get somebody that goes just completely out of control. I would suggest that they probably were just lying in the weeds, waiting for the opportunity to be who
to exploit.
Yeah, to just exploit, attack, and be who they.
So
Everybody's waiting for the chance to be themselves. Oh, look at this. It only got 2. But it's from my stream. I guess we have to give it. What are these emojis? It's got a little pig emoji and a wing emoji and a black magic emoji. What could this one from one of my very own streams possibly be? What? You might need mind control against. It was the phrase ham. That's what that was. Well, it's got 3 indigos now. What else? Mills brings up one that nobody likes. ShipClerk with a 3-banger, critiquing tech with our favorite trusted sources. Hey, I saw this guy. This guy on the right here, he was at the Symbolic World Summit hootenanny. So was the guy on the left, but the guy on the right seemed had to have more gravitas. No. You stop it. It's this tab.
And maybe we can get into this, the aspect of the virtual and the actual and the relationship therein, because it's easy to critique the virtual and, we need to get away from these screens and it's hard to connect. But without the virtual, and the practical aspect, I would have never met you. Actually, would have never found my way back into Christianity. So it's complicated.
Don't do it again. Just stop it. What is even happening over here? Explain the clip. Who threw the thing? What are you talking about? But I'm just be careful what you ask for, Turf. That was see, that was supposed to be part of the Cascading Barometrics I forgot to play. But
if you pay somebody to go through internet making nice comments about your company and your product, that is astroturfing. Yeah, it's comments about a product, a service, a policy, which appear to come from ordinary members of the public, but in fact they don't. Yeah, they come from actors or people who are working for the company. Yeah, it's like orchestrated marketing or public relations, making people think that, well, everybody supports this. Yeah, and that's the idea. Idea is to present things as unsolicited comments, to make something look like community mobilization.
Clara shared this stream with her other sociopaths. We are now under a microscope. Well, Christian Baxter, Agent Baxter, I have great news for you. Using my clout and gravitas and position in the corner, I have pressured CW Weeks to interrogate Clara on our behalf, and everyone around knows that everyone around Lance trying to get people in a private room again. Everyone that was there at that stream now knows not to trust Clara until after the CW Weeks interrogation, where he'll get to the bottom of her thesis and what the yes, we are lobotomized, but ow, weak ass throw. Okay.
Greetings. I'm Dr. Lenny Time, and I'm here to talk about a concept of measurement. Very interesting. Very, very interesting.
You might need mind control again. All right, then now we return to going through the Frigga Friday Reaper's Harvest. This Ides of March. Up next, we have one with only 2. Oh wait, it now has 3. From me and John Vervaeke, the Vervaeke Happening, live on YouTube, clipped by Aphrael pilots and called Demons.
Underneath, right, where people land up on the continuum. So making use of ideas of integrating relevance realization, predictive processing, we could explain what's going on in people who are autistic, people who are psychotic, and what the variation is in between them. So that was...
does that bit have something to do with like killing what the demon brings you? The default mode network brings you?
I'm not familiar with what that means. Could you...
I get that the default mode network is what distracts you, and
yes,
and brings you like, hey, what about this? What about this?
Oh, I see. Oh, that's very good. Very good. I would say daemon rather than demon, but okay, that's fine. Underneath.
Good one. But on behalf of the fraternal regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy, Aphrael, I gotta say that was one of the best Reaper's Harvest clips I've ever seen reaped. All right, what do we got next? As we scroll on through, 4-star, 4-7 indigo values from Pineapple Pizza, mostly not workings. Where does the essence of Grandpa live?
4, let's say, Your grandfather dies and leaves his body to science. And what that means is that some med students are going to take grandpa apart and use grandpa's body to study anatomy. How much of grandpa will they learn by dissecting him? Now, who knows grandpa better? Grandma or the medical student?
And how much better of a show would this have been if I had gone through the clips that were going to be played and ran the one about this guy up in the left talking about dissecting beauty right after this? Wouldn't that have been better?
Well, that depends a lot on these very basic low-level categories.
Could be underneath, right? It's not going to be fairy dust. It's going to be physics and chemistry. But that doesn't take away from the magic of the fact that there are certain ways to arrange that physics and chemistry, and in particular,
he said magic.
Particular the bioelectricity, which I like a lot, to give you an emergent collective with goals and preferences and
for, let's say,
the auto replay is a hindrance we have to deal with. And now, continuing on. It appears as though Cale Zeldin has appeared on Chamomile TV, as caught by Mostly Not Working, running around spreading the virtually not alone concept, it sounds like. Let's find out. Let's do a little investigation. We just click the little play and see what Pineapple brought us. Okay.
We are the most isolated society that has ever existed. And that is the great evil. It's not quite as in your face as, military marching down your street, laying waste to every household that it meets for no reason. It's not quite as evil as, being locked in a hostile prison that's been on your psychological destruction of your soul. It was actually a soul weapon.
Yeah, right.
The Soviets are atheists. Well, no, I mean, they're not atheists because they believed in the soul. They were trying to kill someone's soul. They were trying to kill their souls. But our poison is more subtle, and I think it is the poison of isolation.
Yeah, I think you're right, and it's the fear, or the fear is not quite the right word, but again, it's like I'm almost impressed by it, but not, is that it's largely not coercive.
We are the most.
That you managed to get anything that Cale did within a minute clip is terribly impressive. Mostly, way to go with that. I see in the hive mind, other than vivisections, we have a problem that Pastor Paul is starting a premiere, as I understand it, and the premiere you can watch it at 2 times speed when you finally get there. So just keep that in mind at all times. Wait, was that the bottom? That's the last. Oh, it's the last one. I guess we've made it through today's Ides of March Reaper stream just in time. Thank you, Embody, especially someone who made this worth my while. Let's see, PBK starting now. Everybody's going how? The hair. Okay, bye, everybody. Have a good time. I'll see you in the hive mind over there. And remember, thank you, Ups. Thank you, Ups. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. And remember, the Friday shows are going to be based on your participation, whether that's clipping the clips or engaging in which ones get voted onto the show. Now that we are more strictly enforcing the 3 indigo throw. I mean, I made exceptions. I'm the dungeon master. I do that. See you over there.